You're Dwayne Leon Leroy.
Yes, sir.
To Leroy, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with reckless driving. On the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. On your other case, you're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
November 3rd, 2024, officers observed defendant's motor vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed, 105 miles per hour, making unsafe lane changes, cutting off several other vehicles, and driving through narrow 2-lane construction zones and on the Sam Houston Tollway. The officer was able to catch up with the defendant and initiate a traffic stop. Officer made contact with the driver and observed mild odor of alcoholic beverage, red bloodshot eyes, and a slight sway. Officer observed a brown bottle of alcoholic beverage under the passenger seat, open and half empty. SFST is administered, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. Defendant denied drinking anything, then claimed to have only consumed 1 beer. And DICs were read and breath was refused. Blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
Are you telling me that he's going through a construction zone at 105 miles an hour?
That's what I have here, Judge, per the dams.
Any prior DWIs? Mind checking? Or any kind of other reckless driving?
I don't see anything that has to do with driving on the record.
There's a lot of construction on the Tollway Road. If you're going that fast, probably pass through it,
But
rather
you're
quickly.
supposed to slow down at an extreme slow place when you're extremely slow pace when you're going through a construction zone.
I agree.
Mr. Leroy, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case, and I'm now taking away your privilege to drive. You're not allowed to drive at all. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You will be signing an affidavit with me, and I hope that you take it seriously, because if not, you will be facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. And I don't care what your excuse is. Mother Teresa needs a ride to church. You come down, we will have a hearing, and you're facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of dope, likewise, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, pause for a second. Did you catch what just happened? The judge didn't just take away his driving privileges. He basically handed out the legal version of a parental, "I'm not mad, I'm disappointed" speech, plus the threat of jail time on repeat. Driving through a construction zone at 105 miles per hour is already wild. But when a judge explicitly says, "I don't care if Mother Teresa needs a ride," the courtroom mood has shifted from probation talk to full-on accountability mode. Audience, what do you think? Should driving privileges be yanked immediately in cases like this, or should defendants get one more chance? Let me know in the comments.
These are 2 different affidavits that you're going to be signing. So if I find that you drive, and I don't care what it's for, I will have 2 contempt hearings every time you drive. You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Agle, and he will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he comes back to me and tells me he can't get a hold of you, you pick up a new case. You violate conditions, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. We'll have you go.
Thanks.
All right. You are Eric Matthew Mack.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mack, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You're also charged with interference to the duties of a public servant. On both of those, you're facing up to 6 months in jail. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On October 30th, 2024, officers were patrolling an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas, that is known to have a high amount of crime. Officers are familiar with the property manager who has complained about trespassers in the past. There were multiple no trespassing, no loitering signs throughout the apartment complex. Officer observed the defendant walking around the apartment complex wearing a hoodie with the hood up and a mask covering his whole face and holding an unknown object in his pocket. Officer asked if the defendant lived in the complex, and the defendant did not answer. Officers believed that crime was afoot as defendant refused to remove his hands from his pocket. Officers attempted to Terry frisk the defendant for any weapons. The defendant refused to be patted down for weapons. Officers attempted to detain him for a criminal trespass investigation, but he refused to be placed in handcuffs. He resisted to be placed in handcuffs, and it took 4 minutes. It took 4 deputies to detain him as he kept pulling away and moving his hands away from each other. It was determined that the defendant did not reside at the apartment complex.
Mr. Mack, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, sir? What do you do for a living? Why not? Sorry?
Retiring.
I can't hear you.
Retiring.
There's so many people that are hiring. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's the next move in your life? You're 21. You ain't got no job. What are you doing with your life?
Military.
That would be a great idea. Holy moly. That would be awesome. Really. That will give you structure. It'll give you discipline, and it'll get you a job. That would be a fantastic thing to do. But jobless, no prospects, no future at 21, that's not going to bode well for you. So I'll appoint your lawyer today, but it's one of the two things. Great idea if you want to go to the military. If not, you must get a job, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You cannot just smoke weed and play Xbox and do nothing all day without no regard to your future. It's not going to happen. So 2 things. I don't want you going back to this location, and I don't want you to have any weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you fill out an application? I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to get a job. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. Do you understand, Mr. Mack?
Yes, sir.
You got to do something with your life, because if not, you're going to be hunchless, just on the side of the road, begging for money without a prospect. That's not a good way to go through life. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, come on, Stephen, I'll give you an application. You'll sign a reset with Ramona, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Okay, sorry to keep you waiting. Good morning, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Bishop?
Shh.
So Mr. Peters is wanted out of Caddo Parish on issuing a worthless check. I'm assuming this correlates to like issuing a bad check here in Texas.
Okay.
And so I would be asking for a bond so he could go to Louisiana and take care of this business out there and resolve it.
So he's on felony probation for a false statement obtaining credit, picks up a DWI second, and now he's got this case.
Correct. I told him what that DWI might do to his probation.
Mr. Fisher, ma'am.
Don't say anything about the DWI because you're on felony probation for a very serious up to 10-year probation. You picked up a new case, and now you have another case in Louisiana. I mean, really.
I had no idea about the case in Louisiana, sir. I had just went to the Army base in Killeen. I was working for Bobtail Crane, and when they escorted us into the military base, nothing popped up about a charge or anything else like that. I had no clue about this. If I would have known about this, I could have easily took care of this whatsoever.
But the problem is that stuff keeps happening. When do we say when?
Sir, like I said, in the case for the DWI, I was not drunk. I was on my way to work.
Really, don't. Now's not the time to fight this case. My only point is that it just stuff keeps happening.
Yes, sir.
State's asking for a bond, in addition to the federal probation right now, we're also seeing.
He's on federal probation too?
I'm sorry, I thought you said federal, but the 3-year probation that he was on right now from the 185th, out of 2022. He also had a deferred revoke in 2010 from Montgomery County that resulted in 10 months of TDC. He also had another TDC trip for tampering with government record in 2008. He had an evading of a motor vehicle, which is a state jail felony that was reduced to a lesser evading for the 351st in 2007. He's also had a couple theft arrests that resulted in dismissals. He's also on a DWI second here in.
How many pen trips you got? 2?
Sir,
Times you've been to the pen?
it was just one time, sir. It was just
You're
one
saying
time.
how many times you've been to the penitentiary, Amy?
I'm seeing at least 2 here for TDC.
No,
One in 2008 and another in 2008 from Montgomery.
no. It was only one time.
Here's the thing. If you have 2 pen trips, you're what's labeled a true habitual. Anytime you pick up a serious felony, you're looking at 25 to life. So when you're out there in the free world, you have to be extra special good, because if not, you could be looking at a minimum of 25 years to life.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just giving you facts.
Judge, if I could argue for my client a little bit, he does have criminal history. He does have criminal history. The issue here is he's got this DWI. He's made bond on that. He's got a bond there. He is on deferred as well on the 185th. I don't show a court date there. I don't see anything happening there as of yet. The only thing he's here in front of you right now is for issuing a worthless check out of Louisiana. This is something that could easily be taken care of, possibly by paying something even from here. If not, he is willing to go to Caddo Parish and avail himself to that parish and figure that out. It's not a serious case, Judge. He does have history. He was, from what he tells me, he was unaware that this popped up. I don't know when this actual case was issued, when it was presented, when it was filed.
Is this a new case? Is this an old case?
It was issued October 31st. The offense date was September 14th.
Of this year, October 31st of this year?
The warrant was issued
I'm
this
sorry,
year.
24?
Yes, the warrant was issued this year. The offense date was September of last year.
October 31st of this year.
They issued the warrant on October of 24, but the actual alleged offense date is
September of last year.
of 23. Okay.
So less than a month, Judge. He's been in Texas.
My problem and my concern are 2 things, though, Mr. Peters. Number 1, are you a danger to the community? Number 2 is you've got a lot of theft cases, and theft cases where other people are involved. So if I set you a bond, is it someone else's money that's going to pay for you to get out? You know, you've got a false statement to obtain credit. You've got a bunch of theft cases. Now you've got another theft case out of Louisiana. So is it someone else's money that's paying for you to get out? And then when we get you out, are you still a danger to the community? You know what I mean? Perception is reality, Mr. Peters, and your record speaks for itself.
Can I say something, Mr. Fisher?
Just don't talk about the
No,
cases.
I'm not talking about the cases. We all have a past. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Fisher? Some of us been caught, some of us haven't been caught. But at the end of the day, I have changed my life and turned myself around. Since all of those things that you have talked about, I have been driving trucks. I have been doing right by the community. I have custody of my 11-year-old son, that I am being an example of what a man should be. I have done everything that I'm supposed to do, Mr. Fisher. I'm not out here causing chaos and controversy about anything out here in society. I speak at the local church.
DWI 2 days ago, a second DWI, you're on the felony deferred, and now you've got a fugitive case.
Mr. Fisher, that was, again, I was not under the influence. I had just got out for work at Bobtail Crane. That's when that transpired. I told the officer that I did not have anything to do with the drink. He said, because your eyes are red. That does not solidify me as being drunk. I was tired. I just worked 16 hours.
Don't talk about specifics.
Okay.
How much is the value of the check?
It was like 511. It's under 1,000.
Judge, he hasn't made a mistake in your court. We're just asking.
But my concern, Ricardo, is where is he going to get the money to pony it up?
Well, Judge, I know you're speculating that it could be the public's money, but it could also be his money. I mean, he's been working for 5 years. He's got a CDL. He worked at Superstar Logistics for 5 years before working for Bobcat Crane. So he's been gainfully employed. It could easily be his money. I mean, there's nothing to say that it's the public's money or anything like that. He's got a history, but he's got no history with you. And so that being the case, I would ask that he be allowed to make this right. If he messes up at that point, I got nothing to say. But at this point, he hasn't messed up in your court.
Opposed to a bond? What if we set a high bond? You know, I mean, it's going to be a couple thousand. You know, it's going to be 5,000 to 10,000.
I can stop you, Judge, but our position is no bond.
You know, the problem is that you're an inherent flight risk. So if I set you a bond, you're going to have to pony up all that kind of money to get out. This is no 10% deal. You're a fugitive case, man. So when we set you a bond, you have to post it in its entirety. No 10%, no 20%, just because of everything that you have open, you are an inherent flight risk. So you got to be aware of that.
Mhm.
So if I do set you a bond, it's going to be at least, 5,000, 7,500.
So there's no way possible that I can, if it's 100% of that bond, there's no way possible that I can do that, man. I'm trying everything in my power. Got a good job and everything else like that. I
See
understand,
this, I will.
but this is
It's
just,
not all bad news because you're not wanted out of like Wyoming, Montana, Alaska, Louisiana. We have so many people here from Louisiana. We have buses coming about twice a week to pick up people to take them back and to bring them to from Louisiana. We really have, it's incredible the amount of people we have. So around 2 times a week, we have people shuffling in and out of Louisiana. What I would say is you should save your money and use that to hire a lawyer in Louisiana to fight your case. Because I'm telling you, has he waived yet?
Yes.
You'll be out of here within the next 2 to 3 days if you keep your waiver.
Judge, if I may reiterate something, we're at November 7th. I'm still confused whether this was issued the 24th or the 31st. Either way, it's less than, even if it was the 24th, we're talking less than 2 weeks that this warrant has been open. He's got no knowledge of this. All of a sudden, he's being held 14 days in custody with something that just popped up. He's been in Texas working. I don't even know when the last time he was in Louisiana. This has been less than a month that he could have had notice that this was even present. They don't call him and tell him, hey, you got a warrant out. It's completely plausible that he didn't know that this was open. It has been sitting for a year. It's been sitting for less than 2 weeks.
Ricardo, the offense date was September 20 of 23, so it would have been like a year.
The offense date, but when was the warrant issued?
October of this year,
October 24th or 31st?
October 20 of 2024.
Okay, so we're at November 7th, less than 2 weeks. I'm saying he had no notice that there was a warrant issued for him. He didn't know that.
Okay.
He didn't know the case was open. I don't know the last time he was in Louisiana. He hasn't been able to make this right. He's saying he didn't have notice of this, but the warrant has been open.
I mean, I understand your argument, right? But it's still got to set him a bond. If he wants a bond, I'm going to set it, at a minimum of 5 to 7,500,
Okay.
and then you're going to probably have to make, I would assume, a good amount of that. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to fugitive cases, right? But like I said, if you keep your waiver, chances are within the next 2 to 3 days, you'll be out of here regardless. You need to make the decision, but it's a matter of you're paying a ton of money to get out when you could also save that money and hire yourself a lawyer.
Judge, one last thing. So we're talking about 100%. We're talking about,
I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating. I've never been in the bonding business, so I have no
that's my
idea.
understanding as well, that it's going to be 100%.
Him, he's got a laundry list of priors. He's got 2 open cases here. He's got a fugitive case out of another state. Most probably a bonding company is going to want quite a bit of jack up front because you're a flight risk. Not only that, you're on a PR bond on the DWI second that they gave you. If you get held up there, it's very possible they revoke your bond on the DWI second. And then in the position you are here, you're going to be in the exact same position over there.
that's why I'm saying, Your
I mean-
Honor. That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. I'm trying to get out there, handle it, and make it clear so that I can
I
handle
know that you're
everything
trying to
else.
get out, but my job is to protect the community.
Judge Fleischer, Dave says he's in the Zoom room.
Oh. Sorry. Got a day coming in.
All right.
Mr. Kim.
Hi, Judge. Are we
Hey,
still
dude.
approaching on Peters?
Yeah, he's in front of us now.
Okay. I'm playing catch up, but Amy told me that you were considering a bond regarding this defendant.
Yes.
So I have strong objections to a bond being granted to for this fugitive case. I don't know if Amy has already relayed, and I don't know if you're familiar, but I was actually the prosecutor that put him on the deferred in the 185th. It was a PSI, and I was the prosecutor assigned to the case. And the 185th, when Judge Wong was still on the bench, is that he put him on a deferred, but he also had jails as a condition of his probation because they were concerned with how many thefts he had along with the anti-theft course. And the reason why that's pertinent here is because what he's wanted for is issuing worthless checks issued on October 31st, 2024. On top of that, he's violated that deferred by committing another DWI second along with a Conroe charge. And so
He has a charge in Conroe as well?
well, it's finished now, but I believe it was after the deferred. Let me go back. judge. It was on, well, there was two. Oh, no, sorry. I was thinking of the older one. I thought there was a newer one. My mistake. It was older. But that still doesn't take away from the other arguments presented is that it's the same type of offense, less than 3 years after he was put on the deferred, in addition to the second violation in county, which the court can see. And that was as recent as 2 days ago.
Has the court given you any kind of guidance as what they're going to do? Do you know? I mean, I don't see.
Well, I mean, I haven't heard anything from the 185th, but because this fugitive case, the warrant was issued out on October 31st, there's nothing to say that the 185th won't revoke his deferred for the violation. So on top of the DWI sec, to say nothing of the fact that there are obviously technicals because there is a positive for alcohol. So it's a combination of things that even if the court grants a bond here, if they revoke or file the prosecutors in the 185th file a motion to revoke, he's going to be without a bond there anyway.
Judge, two things. If it is 100%, we're talking about $5,000. That would be a $50,000 bond on a worthless check case out of Louisiana.
You have so many variables here that are in play at this moment, Mr. Peters, that you could literally pay $5,000 to get out now, and then they issue a felony warrant tomorrow in your probation case that would literally be throwing $5,000 down the drain. I would be very careful. I mean, I don't know how much money you have. I know I don't have that much money, but if you have just enough money to throw $5,000 away, I would be very careful because like I'm telling you, they could any day now file a motion to revoke your probation, a felony warrant's going to issue, and then all the money that you are putting into this is just it's out the tubes. It's out the window.
Your Honor, I have to at least save my job so that I can do what I need to do to fight that DWI case. Nevertheless, I'm an innocent man until proven guilty. So whatever crimes I have done in the past, I have paid my time for that. I had did that when I was a younger man. I'm no longer that younger man that I was.
Kidding? Who are you kidding? Done this when I was a younger man. It's a year and a half ago. You're on probation. Now you picked up a DWI. Now you got this. I mean, really, who are you kidding yourself? Just look. Just if you want me to set the bond, I'm going to set it at around $500 to $7,500. Okay, if you want to do it, do it. I'll give you time to consider. But I'm telling you, it's probably not one of the wisest ideas because within the next 2 to 3 days, you'll be out of here if you don't pony up that money. And it's very possible that they, any day now, file that motion to revoke because they're going to let the 185th know that you've picked up 2 cases from the time that you've been on probation, right? You have. You picked up a new case in Louisiana. You picked up a case here, right, while you've been on probation. That's not one of the things that you're supposed to do. So any moment, lickety spit, they're going to file a motion to revoke. And if
Actually, Your Honor, if I may, if the court does set a bond, then I'm going to ask Amy. I would be in court right now, but I'm under the weather and I don't want to risk anybody else. And so if the court does intend to set a bond, then I'm going to send an email out to the 185th right now to see if they'll revoke the deferred.
up to you.
Talk to them about where we're
You
at.
guys talk. I don't want you to make a rash decision just because you got blinders on your eye to get out when you guys are in the driver's seat. Let me know what you want to do. Don't make a decision right here. Take your time, think about it, and then let me know what you want to do.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Mr. Gold.
Hello again, Your Honor. I got Joel Varela with us. It is a deferred plea.
Come up, Mr. Varela. Or Vasquez, is it? No,
Relevant.
Varela.
Everybody else. No, I'm fine. I'm used to it. They always mix it up.
All right, Mr. Varela Aviles, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked in agreement. They're offering you 1 year deferred adjudication. That is a type of probation that if you successfully complete it, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. But you got to understand, you give up nearly every right known to man by entering into this agreement. And if you violate this agreement, you're looking at 180 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
To successfully complete this agreement, you must complete a thinking for a change class, a driver safety class, and you must also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess further conditions, you must fulfill those conditions, whatever they may be. I don't know. No drugs, no alcohol, and 10 hours of community service. You will also undergo random analysis. Is this how you understand the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will make it sweeter for you. If you do everything well, I'll take you off in half the time. But that means no racing, don't test positive, and most importantly, be nice to everybody.
I don't do drinks, I don't do drugs, I don't do nothing.
Be nice to your probation officer because they have your life in their hands. They can either, give you a good time or make your life miserable. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, test on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to the offense of racing on a highway?
Guilty.
I will not find you guilty. I will withhold that. Like I said, do well, we'll reward you. If you don't do well, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. I will put you in jail. We're going to have a hearing to see whether you violated this probation. If you did, you're looking at 180 days. Do you have any questions? All right, good luck to you, Mr. Bailey. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Jimmy.
He's on his way out right now.
Okay.
How do you spell that?
Yes. I need to send them back to him. I don't worry that.
Adrian Lumumba. Just need to put this.
Sorry, give me. You speak English?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Leha, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement that they're offering you 25 days in jail, credit for the 11 days. Is this what you want to do?
Yes.
You need to understand that this is going to go on your record. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail.
Yes.
You give up a lot of rights by entering the agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this. How do you plead to the offense, sir? How do you plead to the offense?
Okay.
I will find you guilty. Follow the agreement. Good luck to you, Mr. Lehan. Thank you, Jillian. All right, Mr. Rutin. Yeah, tell you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Are you Arnaldo Bernabe Larios Tayun?
Yes, sir.
Order in the court, please.
You were charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be afforded to you, sir.
On October 31st, 2024, officers were dispatched at 2:46 a.m. to report to the motor vehicle sitting in the intersection of a public roadway in Harris County, Texas.
Slow down just a tad.
Yes,
please.
of course.
Order in the court.
Vehicle was.
The vehicle was sitting in the intersection
estacionado en
of
la
a public
intersección de
roadway
la carretera en la calle pública
in Harris County,
del condado
Texas,
de Harris County,
with the
Texas,
driver
con el
asleep at the
chofer ahí
wheel.
dormido en el volante.
Upon
Al corrido,
arrival,
los policías,
officers located defendant's motor vehicle
encontraron el
and
vehículo
observed defendant to be the
y lo
sole
vieron que era el
occupant
único
of the
que estaba
vehicle.
en el vehículo.
Upon
Cuando
contact with the
hicieron contacto con el
defendant,
acusado,
officers
los
observed
oficiales
red
vieron
glossy
que tenía
eyes,
los ojos brillosos,
slurred speech,
tanto
and an
mirar
odor
para
of
la
alcoholic
alcohol
beverage emitting from the
que venía
defendant's person,
de su persona.
along with poor
Cuando
balance.
también no se podía balancear.
The defendant
El
admitted to
acusado
drinking,
admitió de que
and
había
an
tomado,
inventory
y
of the
cuando hicieron
vehicle
inventario del vehículo,
yielded several
vieron
open,
que
cold to the
varios
touch beer cans,
Drinking while driving.
siendo y tomando,
most of which were mostly
cuando
empty.
la mayor parte estaban vacíos.
As FSTs were
La
conducted,
FST se hicieron
6 out of 6
6 de 6 del
HGN
HGN,
plus vertical gaze
también el
nystagmus,
nystagmus vertical,
and 3 out of 4 one-leg stand.
3 de 4 de pararse en una sola pierna.
The defendant failed to perform the walk and turn
No podía
because he
hacer
failed to
caminar y
follow
voltear porque no
instructions.
siguió las instrucciones.
DICs were read but
Entonces, se le
refused,
leyó,
and a
se
warrant was
negó.
signed and
Entonces, se
executed.
firmó una
He
orden y
has
se
no driver's license,
hizo.
judge, and no
No tenía
prior criminal
licencia ni
history.
tampoco tenía ningún antecedentes.
I would hope that you recognize it's elementary that you're not supposed to have alcohol in the car while you are driving, Mr. Tayun.
Señor Tayun,
Do you have a Texas driver's license? Look at me,
míreme, no,
not
a usted
allowed
no
to
se le
drive.
permite conducir.
What is your immigration status? Are you a United States citizen?
¿Es ciudadano americano?
No.
No,
Are you in this country with or without permission?
without.
What happens if you go to jail?
That's not in place.
I don't know, I believe that return me to my country.
Right.
Cierto.
You will sit
Usted
in jail
en la cárcel.
waiting for this case to be over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration.
Lo mandan con
But you will sit in immigration custody for about 6 to 9 months, waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do. And I'm going to tell you now, the incoming president is not very sympathetic
No es muy
with people
simpático.
who are in immigration custody. Do you understand?
¿Entiende? Yes, sir.
I'm putting conditions on you and your bond. And if you violate it in any way, then you will go to jail. The reason you got out as quick as you did is because we gave you a free bond. It will not happen again. You violate conditions. More importantly, if you drive, because I'm ordering you not to, then I'm going to make your bond extremely high. This is a promise that you're going to make to me today, that you're not going to drive. And I don't care what is going on in your life. You drive. I can have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. So if you drive 3 times, I will have 3 contempt hearings. You are also not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, you will go to jail. And let me be frank with you. If they charge you with the open container, that is a minimum of 5 days in jail. And I'm going to tell you, if you do anything more than 4 hours in custody, you will be stuck like Chuck in custody with an immigration detainer. Do you understand?
¿Entiende?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Have you come up here, swore to us that you're not going to drive? I'm not done yet. After that, you will get to Ramona where you will sign a reset. After that, you'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions. This is the only warning that you will get from us, Mr. Tayoun. So take it. If not, you will spend a lot of time with us. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir. Now you may go. All DWIs, random test.
Okay. So we'll just reset to get that. Yep. Yes.